Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the game against BC, please, and we expect to see as you wrap up the regular season Saturday at Cincinnati.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone gets a chance to enjoy the special holiday with their family. So, we had the experience of playing in Fenway Park is once in a lifetime, for our kids and, coaches, and unique in terms of the coaching situation and both teams on the same sideline. But the people from Fenway, and the Red Sox, they just did a tremendous job. So, again, it's one of those things where our kids came out and ready to play and came out with a lot of fire and everything else, and, had opportunities early in the game offensively to, get some points, and we came up short. And, defensively we came out and played very, very well. And then, in the second quarter, we just weren't able to move the ball consistently. We had 4 3-and-outs, which, hurt us. And then, we gave up a couple big plays, defensively, which is something that's been our bugaboo all year long, and go down, 14-3 at half. And then just really couldn't, again, some big plays against us in the second half, a pick six, and just couldn't get that consistency going. But the kids fought and did everything they could to try to, get themselves back in the game, and kept moving forward, and ended up not coming out the way we wanted to. This week with Cincinnati, you got a very athletic team that we're going to be facing, a senior-laden team on offense and an aggressive attacking, defense. So all we're going to try to do is get a little bit better this week, improve, and go out there and, work to get a win.
We'll take questions for Coach Edsall. Please star 1 on your telephone keypad. We'll put you in the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
We'll go next to John Altavilla with the Hartford Courant.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Randy.
Morning, John.
Hey, is there anything that you want to try this week, or personnel that you want to look at that might be a little bit different than what you've been doing all year in this last game?
No, what we want to try to do is continue to get better. There might be a couple changes that we might have due to injury, or, we won't have Junior Joseph the first half because of the targeting foul that he had on him in the second half. But that'll give us a chance. But again, the only changes that we'll have, John, is for the most part is because of if we did have some injuries to do that. Because we're kind of a young team, the guys that we're playing, and we just want to continue to get them to play better. And like I said, if there was somebody that I'm not just going to take a senior out and sit them down, to put somebody else in there. To me, they have to earn the right to be in there, and I wouldn't do that to a senior that's deserved to play, and just to take a look at somebody to maybe find something out.
How much of the culture change that you want to bring to this program is it reasonable to expect you could do in this first season?
Well, again, it's a process, and there's a lot that goes into that process. And as I told Mike and some of those guys, I'll talk to them more after the season's over about things. But, again, the thing that I appreciate is the kids working and doing the things that we're asking them to do. I think, and I know we've gotten better from the beginning of the season to the end. It doesn't show maybe in terms of the number of wins, but when you're here every day, and at least we're getting them to compete for, 60 minutes and, playing hard, there's things that we got to get better at in terms of fundamentals and techniques, but you see guys getting better. You see the effort and the enthusiasm that they bring to practice each and every day. And now we just got to go out and get them bigger, faster, and stronger, and add to what we're doing. But, in terms of certain things, we've made a lot of strides. There's a lot of strides we still have to make, and that's going to be an ongoing process. As we finish this game against Cincinnati, we head on the road recruiting, and then we get through the holidays, and they come back, and we get into the off-season program.
Thank you, Randy. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
All right, buddy.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora with WakeUpCallDT.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
Well, I know you just said that maybe the wins don't show where the team had made some strides and made some improvements. And with this being Thanksgiving week, what are you thankful for with the team right now? What have they shown you up to this point that you can build off of?
Well, I think, a couple things. Number one is that, is you go through a change and you go through a season. The one thing that I do think is that, the upperclassmen, they're staying together as a team. Sometimes when things don't go well, you have people, it gets divided. Guys are really working. Guys are trying to get better. We know there's certain things we can't do to help them during the season because that's going to take the weight room. And, we're not a big enough team. We're not a strong enough team. We're not a fast enough team yet. Those are things that are all ongoing. But in terms of the stuff you can control and how hard you play and the effort that you give, we're getting that. And, we're doing good things, but, again, it's some of those things where, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And, those are the things that we have to just continue to get better at in terms of our football instincts, the football knowledge, and just understanding to do your job to the best of your ability each and every play. We've gotten better at that, but we're not near where I want us to be in that regard yet.
And, when you look at moving forward here with this team, what about you keeps you energized personally as a coach, to come back and take on this program once again in a different era? What's pushing you forward? What are you excited about moving forward with this team?
Well, I like the youth that we have in our program. We got some pretty good freshmen and some underclassmen that excited to work with, but and really just what's on the horizon in terms of what we're doing so far from a recruiting standpoint and the enthusiasm that kids have that want to come into this program. And the other thing is the thing that and this they got away from this here, and and I'm just being truthful. Just being around the former players that I coached and recruited for all those years, them coming back and being around because they haven't been involved in this program for basically 6 years since I left, and seeing that the enthusiasm and the pride that they have in this program and everything else, it just drives me a little bit more, each and every day to make sure that we get that pride back that was here before, for those guys, because they're the ones that really set the example, and they're the ones that really built the foundation and built this program to what it was. And it's sad that it's kind of slipped in those 6 years. And now what I want to do, not only for the kids that are here, but I want to try to do everything I can for those kids that, took this program from 1AA to 1A to the Fiesta Bowl and those things, so they can get that pride back and they can feel good about talking about UConn again and all those guys in the NFL. That's a lot that keeps me going as well, and those guys coming back and just telling me, hey, it's got to happen, Coach. It's got to happen. Those sort of things, that reinforcement, that's really, it's the players. That's the driving force. It's what you can do for those young men to help them go and achieve the goals that they can do. And for me, I'm a has-been, but I can help these young men achieve goals that they want to achieve. And as long as, I have the energy and the support, then, we're going to keep doing that because this place, I know you can do certain things here, and that's what we're going to try to continue to accomplish.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
We'll go next to Ronnie Woodward with the Greenville Daily Reflector.
Hey, Coach, I know you touched on it earlier. I was just curious about the Fenway Park situation. Was it kind of how unique was it, and was it that much different than a football field and everything, or did it kind of, once the game started, it kind of went away a little bit?
Well, no, it was it was neat. I mean, one of the things that's neat, we were the home team, so we had their locker room, and so my area was where the manager's office, and it's pretty neat to sit in that skipper's office there, and they have all the pictures of all the former managers, up there on the wall, and you see that, and you go down the steps there and through the dugout, and some of the signage that they have on there, and you walk out. And I've been in that ballpark, many times to watch a game, but never been in the locker room or down in the dugout and coming through there and seeing all those things. And then, just the history of that state, the historic nature of that park, playing in there. And the thing that's different is when you're both on the same sideline, it makes it interesting when the ball's down at the other end, you know, in terms of, you know, coaching and substitutions and everything else. But, you know, it was really neat. And, you know, really, you know, it was one of those bucket list things, you know, that you can cross off that you played a football game in Fenway Park, and you know, couldn't have been happier with the results, and the turnout that we had with our fans was just unbelievable.
Cool. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Coach.
Mhm.
Coach, thanks so much again, not only for your time today, but during the course of the season. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your team and your family, and best of luck the rest of the way.
All right, appreciate it.